Hello, friends. It's Miss Veth. I am back to read you two more chapters of Jansen and the Mystery of the U.F.O. by David A. Adler. As you remember, we left off chapter 4 with Cam and Eric were kind of spying in the woods, looking around where they saw the lights, right? And that's when they saw the creatures. And if you remember correctly, the creatures had silver wrinkly skin and green hands and blue feet, and they were carrying things. So let's see what happens. Okay. Chapter 5. Cam and Eric stood still. They were afraid to move. "What do we do now?" Eric whispered. "I don't know. Let's just wait." Cam and Eric waited quietly. They saw one of the creatures run out again. It was holding something. "Get back here, Cindy," a voice called out. The silver creature dropped what it was holding and ran back behind the wall. "Did you hear that?" Cam said. "They speak English. Now how could a creature from outer space learn English?" "Well, maybe they studied it in school," Eric said. "Or maybe they've been here before." Eric thought for a minute. "Or maybe they're wondering how come we speak their language." "Maybe they're not from outer space," Cam said. "Come on, let's get closer." Eric didn't want to get closer. He wanted to go home. But before he could tell Cam, she ran ahead. She ran from one tree to the next. Eric followed her. They tried to run quietly, but the dried leaves made noise when Cam and Eric stepped on them. Neptune made noise too. Remember, Neptune's the kitten they found. She meowed inside Cam's pocket. Cam and Eric stopped running when they reached a large tree close to the wall of the handball court. There was a pile of leaves next to the tree. Cam put her lunchbox and books down. She tried to hide behind the leaves. She couldn't. The pile was too small. Look, there's a picture. Hiding behind the leaves. "Help me," she whispered to Eric. "Let's build this up." Eric passed leaves to Cam, and she placed them on top of the pile. When the pile was high enough, Cam and Eric crawled behind it. They waited, they watched the wall, but nothing happened. It was quiet. Cam took Neptune out of her pocket. She stroked the back of her neck. Neptune purred softly. "If we could see what they dropped behind that wall," Cam said, "we might be able to find out who they are." Cam put Neptune back in her pocket. Cam crawled around the tree. She got closer to the wall. Then Cam stopped. She heard voices on the other side of the wall. "Cindy," a boy's voice said, "fold your arms like this. And Stephen, you stand like this." There was a flash of light on the other side of the wall. "Stephen, you hold the ray gun. Cindy, you sit down next to Stephen." "Oh, Bobby, why can't I hold the ray gun?" Cam crawled closer. She could see a pile of colored objects ahead behind the wall. "Don't smile," Cam heard Bobby say. "Look curious." There was another flash of light. Cam crawled closer to the wall. The pile of colored objects were children's sneakers, 2 jackets, an empty box of aluminum foil, and the wrappings from 2 pairs of green rubber gloves. "Sneakers," Cam thought. "Aluminum foil and rubber gloves?" Cam sat there. She looked at the sneakers and the coats. "These aren't creatures from outer space," Cam told herself. "They're children covered with aluminum foil." Cam reached into her pocket. Neptune was still there. She licked Cam's hand and purred. Then Cam looked back at Eric. He was signaling for Cam to come back. She didn't. She crawled along the back of the wall. There was a large tree just at the edge of the wall. Cam hid behind it and looked out. A car was parked facing the handball court. Its headlights were on. there were two children covered with aluminum foil. They were both wearing blue wool socks and green rubber gloves. That explains their green hands and blue feet, right? One was holding a toy ray gun. The children's faces were hidden behind silver masks with holes for their eyes and mouths. An older boy, the one called Bobby, was there too. He was about 18. He had a camera and was taking pictures. It was hard for Cam to see the children and the older boy clearly. The lights from the car reflected off the aluminum foil. Cam held her hand over her eyes to shield them. She looked straight at the two children and said, "Click!" Cam heard a noise behind her. Then she felt something poke her in the back. Cam was afraid to move. What do you think poked her in the back? This would be a good time to take a minute and make a prediction. Also, here is a picture of they thought were creatures, but they're really just kids dressed in tinfoil, and they're getting their picture taken. Okay. Chapter 6. Without turning around, Cam reached behind her. Something thin and pointed poked her hand. Slowly, Cam turned around. It was Eric! He had moved closer to the wall. He was hiding behind a big tree and was trying to get Cam's attention by poking her with a branch. Is that what you predicted? Cam crawled back to join him. The tree was almost wide enough to hide them both. When Cam looked out, she could clearly see the front of the handball court. You were right, Eric said. They're not from outer space. Cam and Eric watched while Bobby took photographs. Bend down, Bobby told Cindy, like you're looking at something. I can't bend. This foil is too tight. Let Stephen bend. Stephen crouched down and picked up a leaf. The foil covering his knees ripped. His pants showed through. See, you can see his pants right there. See, Cindy said, I told you. All right, Bobby said. Hold this newspaper. Hold it like you don't know what it is. Cindy held the newspaper upside down. Stephen put a page into his mouth as if he were trying to eat it. Good, very good, Bobby said as he took another picture. You know what? Eric whispered to Cam. I'll bet he's planning to enter the photography contest and win the $100. Remember, they were talking about that in the beginning of the book where Eric wanted to enter the photography contest. Maybe these boys and girls are doing the same thing. Bobby continued to take photographs. No one will believe him, Eric went on. No one will believe that creatures from outer space landed. We almost believed it, Cam said. After we saw those UFOs take off, we were ready to believe it. Cam sat behind the tree with her legs crossed and thought. While she sat there, Neptune crawled out of Cam's pocket and into her lap. But how could they have known? Cam asked. That we would see a UFO tonight. Cam thought for a minute. Unless, she said, the UFOs were a prank and they're the ones who did it. Eric looked at the handball court. They're taking off their masks. What do we do now? Cam jumped up. Neptune fell off her lap and ran away. Quick, Cam said. Take their pictures. While they have their costumes half on and half off. A picture like that would prove they're fakes. Eric held up his camera and looked through it. He pressed the shutter. Nothing happened. Eric pressed it again. Again, nothing happened. Eric looked at the back of the camera. Oh no, he said. I'm out of film. I took the last picture in the parking lot. Eric opened his camera. He took out the roll of film and put it in his pocket. Let's go back, Eric said, and get someone to help. Just as Cam and Eric were leaving, they heard Neptune. Meow. Neptune was standing on a branch that hung right over the handball court. The branch was shaking. Neptune's going to fall, Eric said, and right on top of Bobby. You guys see Neptune? Look. And there's Cam and Eric in the background. Oh no. I'm going to stop there for right now. But I want you again to make some predictions about what you think's going to happen. Now that Neptune's out on that branch, do you think she's going to fall on top of them all? Or do you think Cam and Eric will save her? Or, I don't know, the possibilities are endless. I can't wait to hear what you think. Have a good day.